Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have to give a massive shout out to our boy Kabrutus, the leader of the army known as Sweet Baby Ink Detected, because the mainstream gaming industry would have you believe that this group is a very small group. It's a small fringe group. They don't matter. They're not capable of anything, whatever, right? Now, apparently, the government broadcaster radio in Canada just accused Sweet Baby Ink Detected Steam Curator Group of leading a cyber harassment campaign. Yes, this small little group that they tried to say doesn't matter was just talked about on the broadcaster radio of Canada.
I will never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2+ kids' rights.
Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things I always say when it comes to the culture war going on right now, whether it's movies, TV shows, gaming, whatever the case may be, is that they want to try to convince you desperately. They want to try to convince you that, hey, these people don't matter. These YouTubers don't matter. These little small fringe group of gamers don't matter. Well, guess what? You guys matter, because it's very obvious that we matter, and that's because they can't stop talking about us. Now they're forced to have to actually acknowledge us and what's going on, and how, hey, there is actually a big group of people that's growing every single day that is much bigger than it seems, because we can't even recruit everybody. It goes to show that there is a lot going on that they don't want to talk about. So let's get into this article, guys, from Bounding Into Comics. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. It says, according to the Canadian government-run broadcaster Radio Canada, the individual who kicked off the current round of video game industry discourse with his creation of Sweet Baby Ink Detected Steam Curator Group, Kabrutus, can be best described not as an unhappy consumer concerned with the ongoing DEI deterioration of one of his favorite entertainment mediums, but as the leader of a cyber harassment campaign. Now, the funny thing is, Kabrutus just walked right into it. Like, he was just like, hey, you're going to say I'm leading a cyber harassment campaign. You might as well call me Megatron at this point. I love it. It's great. And you know what? We need this. We need them to talk about it. The reason why we need them to talk about it is because it's proof that it has hit mainstream, ladies and gentlemen. This conversation that we've been having for years. This is not just something that happened recently. This is not just something that happened over the last 2 months or so. No. This conversation has been happening for years. We've been talking about this on this channel for over 2 years, let alone other channels that have been doing it for 5+ years, even a decade at this point for some of them. So it goes to show that no matter how much you try to ignore something, no matter how much you want to pretend like something's not happening and they don't exist, well, eventually what ends up happening is you get a shitstorm, ladies and gentlemen. When you go too far, when you push your luck and you try to tell people what they should and should not think, and you want to preach to people instead of making entertainment, yeah, eventually the bear is going to get mad, come out of hibernation, and come for your ass, and that's exactly what's happening. The French-speaking branch of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation leveled this accusation towards the Brazilian video game player in April 4th summary piece entitled "Too Woke?" with a question mark. A Montreal video game studio is a victim of harassment, itself written the intention of giving the outlet's readers a heavily slanted recap of the current Sweet Baby Ink discourse. Now, we know that any of these mainstream outlets, what they're going to do is they're going to try to tell a revisionist history version of what actually happened with Gamergate 2.0 and how it started. Nobody wants to admit that it was an employee of Sweet Baby Inc. that started this whole nonsense. Chris Kindred is the arbiter of what happened in Sweet Baby Inc. and what happened with Gamergate 2.0. He started it all. All Kabrutus did was make a page to inform people and to be transparent about who was making XYZ games, and since he has an issue with Sweet Baby Inc. and some of the ideologies that they have actively said that they have, you're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to have a disagreement with a company. You're allowed to say, hey, I'm not actually for this stuff. I think it ruins games. So I'm just going to let some friends know and some people know on my Steam page that, hey, this game has Sweet Baby involved with it. So just take a second look before you may think about buying the game. I can't tell you whether to buy the game or not, but at least you have this list to let you know what games were worked on by Sweet Baby in case you were curious. That's literally all it was. And then Sweet Baby employees got their panties in a twist, literally, and lost their mind and tried to get Kabrutus banned, tried to get his Steam account taken down, tried to get the Steam Curator Group taken down. They leave out all this information because they know it makes them look bad. They know that the people who are trying to claim that they're being harassed right now were the ones who started the harassment in the first place. They never like to be truthful. It says a small video game consultation studio between Sweet Baby, and again, they love to highlight small. Right? You guys gotta understand. These people, they use certain words because they know that their viewers and their readers and everything under the sun are simplistic-minded people. They know that they have to use certain buzzwords that are going to be focus-fire words for these simple-minded people to latch onto. So what do? And when they're talking about Sweet Baby Inc., when they're talking about this company, they start off with the word small video game consultation studio, so that the simple-minded people can think, oh, people are really mad about this small company that has 16 employees. Like, a small company like this can't do anything. I'm gonna disavow everything else that gets said after that. They know that people are like that. But in any case, it says it's the target of a vast cyber harassment campaign, including death threats. Oh, it's the internet. Wrote the outlet in the opening to their piece, as personally translated by the article's author. Thousands of internet figures, including influential figures like Elon Musk, have accused the studio of propagating their woke agenda and policy of inclusion, diversity, and equity in the video games that they work on. From there, the outlet then would proceed to present readers with a quote from Kabrutus himself, as initially given to Geeks and Gamers' Alex Gerzo during a March 2024 interview, in which he explained his reason for creating the aforementioned Sweet Baby Inc. Detected Steam curated group. SBI forces political agendas and DEI into their games. Read that part of the interview, quoted by Radio Canada. I started noticing patterns in some games, like ugly women and male characters being weakened to make female ones look stronger. And it would be at this point in their article that the French Canada broadcaster would apply the accusatory label to Kabrutus' character. In attributing Kabrutus' quote, to the player himself, Radio Canada would describe him to their readers as the creator of the Sweet Baby Inc. Detected movement and the leader of the cyber harassment campaign. So, again, they have their narrative. They've all had their narrative. Kotaku, IGN, every single one of these mainstream losers have their narrative that they're going to utilize to try to push to their readers, whatever little bit of readers and listeners that they have. God forbid the people, I feel bad for the people who still use Kotaku, but still, they're going to push this out and they're going to hope that it sticks. They're going to pray that it sticks. And if it doesn't stick, it's only going to create a Streisand effect. And guess what happens? It didn't stick. Their narrative is not sticking. They can try to put it out as much as they want. They could try to make this a mainstream narrative, but it's not working. The Streisand effect is drastically taking place to the point where Sweet Baby Inc. Detected is almost at 360,000 followers at the time of recording this video and growing. And it's not just there either. You got to look at Kabrutus' YouTube channel. You got to look at the overall Twitter conversation going on. You got to look at what's happening with Grums and what he's doing. The world is realizing that this was what was being hidden from us during the original Gamergate. During original Gamergate, Twitter was compromised. Twitter was compromised by leftist activists, and they felt very comfortable on Twitter because they knew they could run their narrative without any challenge whatsoever, and they loved it. Now, they're losing their mind because what used to work before is not working now. They realize that, oh, we can't run this narrative without getting combated on it. We actually can't say whatever the hell we want and get these people who disagree with us banned. So what are we going to do? Well, let's just keep running the narrative until we figure out what we're going to do. And now you have the Streisand effect, and the world is just realizing the bullshit. So I can't wait to see just what continues to happen as Sweet Baby Inc. Detected moves on to almost 400,000 followers. I think it's going to be awesome, and we need more of this, and honestly, the mainstream media cannot get hurt fast enough. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.
The level of admiration I actually have for China, because their basic dictatorship